What's going on, guys? It's your boy CMB, back in the building, back with another video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get into this really quickly, guys. But before I begin, I want to send a shout out to all the new subscribers out there, as well as my old subscribers and all the boxing fans around the world. I just want to say thank you to all you guys out there. But anyway, guys, we're talking about the former two-time WBC super middleweight champion, who I coined the Mexican Monster David Benavidez, guys. Now, David says he thinks he sees some holes in Canelo Alvarez's game that he can exploit and defeat the face of boxing, guys. So I got the article pulled up here. I'm going to read a little bit to you guys and catch you guys up to speed on what's going on with Mr. Benavidez. Hold on, let me grab my laptop. Alright, guys, so the article says, the title, David Benavidez sees weakness and Canelo says he'll beat him. David Benavidez says he sees flaws in Canelo Alvarez's game last weekend in the fight with Billy Joe Saunders that he believes he can exploit. The former two-time WBC super middleweight champion believes he's the guy to beat Canelo and knock him out when he's finally allowed to face him. Thus far, Canelo has arguably avoided the 6'2" young gun Benavidez, but won't be able to do it for much longer without it becoming totally obvious to the boxing world. Now, in Canelo Alvarez's defense, David Benavidez did lose his title on the scale. It was a vacant title. Canelo Alvarez wind up scooping it up last December when he faced off with Callum Smith. It was a 2-for-1 thing, so I will say that in Canelo Alvarez's defense. Now, it says here the 24-year-old Benavidez will be looking to force Canelo's hand in his next fight when he takes on former IBF 168-pound champion Jose Uzcategui, who's 30-4, by the way, guys, on August 28th in a WBC super middleweight title eliminator. Now, Jose Uzcategui actually lost that belt to Caleb Plant, they're talking about who's going to face Canelo Alvarez next. You guys know Canelo Alvarez is looking to become undisputed at the 168-pound weight division, and that's the final puzzle piece is Caleb Sweethand Plant, guys. And I think Caleb has defended that IBF title 3 times since he won it from Uzcategui. I think who was it? It was Mike Lee was the first one. Vincent Weisenberg, which was a good fight, by the way. You guys should go check that fight out. And he faced his mandatory earlier this year in July, in January, against Caleb Truex. So you know he's getting pretty seasoned since he had that belt. Okay, so it says, obviously, it would have been better if the World Boxing Council had sanctioned a fight between Benavidez and Carlos Gongora for the eliminator. And if you guys aren't familiar with him, I think he's an Ecuadorian boxer. He's undefeated. I think 20-0. He's the IBO champion, guys, at super middleweight. It doesn't matter. If Benavidez beats Uzcategui, he will be recognized as Canelo's mandatory, which will force him to an important decision to flee or fight. And guys, if it comes down to that, I don't think Canelo's going to flee David Benavidez. It'll be a hell of a fight, though. With a victory over the 30-year-old Uzcategui in their headliner on Showtime Boxing on August 28th, Benavidez will be the WBC mandatory for Canelo's title. Unless Canelo vacates his WBC title or uses his franchise tag to avoid Benavidez, he will be required to fight him. And I'm not sure now, is Canelo the franchise champion at 168? I know he was the franchise champion at 160, but I don't remember him being a franchise champion at 168. Maybe somebody can let me know in the comment section. Given that Canelo defended against WBC mandatory Avenue Drum last February, it won't fly with fans if he chooses not to face Benavidez if he becomes his mandatory. That I will have to agree with. You know, people are going to be a little skeptical if he doesn't do that. But like I said, I think I think Canelo will face David Benavidez if it comes to it. Benavidez says he can beat Canelo. I feel like I can beat him. I saw a lot of things that I know I can take advantage of. David Benavidez said to Fight Hub when asked about his thoughts on a fight between him and Canelo after watching the fight with Saunders. The thing is about Canelo's opponents, they don't have any power. The last one, Saunders and Avenue Durham, didn't have any power. You need the power to keep Canelo off of you. Otherwise, he's going to be there all night. And that's the thing about me. I feel like I'm the hardest hitter at 168. Okay, so that's enough of that, guys. He's right about keeping Canelo off of you. You're going to have to give him something that makes him think before he comes inside. David Benavidez, in my opinion, he's a monster, guys. You guys heard me say it before. He's a Mexican monster. He can do it all in the ring. You know, he has fast hands. He can fight you in the pocket. He works good behind the jab. You know, he's a good fighter. He's young, hungry, and just a strong kid. So I think he would give Canelo a hell of a fight. And but we know Canelo has Caleb Plant next. He's got to keep his mind focused on his next opponent. If he does get past Caleb Plant and become undisputed at 168, then maybe we'll see him and David Benavidez get in the ring. And I made a video. My last video was about the guys at 160 that want to face Canelo Alvarez. You know, the champions at 160, you know, they're all itching for a fight. They're all gunning for a fight with Canelo Alvarez. And honestly, guys, I think David Benavidez will probably get the fight before these guys, being that he's already at 168. These guys are at 160. They're talking about facing Canelo, and they need to do something at 160 or move up to 168 and face off, you know, against a top 10 opponent if they want to put themselves in position to get that fight. But I think, you know, in my opinion, I think David Benavidez might get the first crack at Canelo Alvarez after if he becomes undisputed, if he can defeat Caleb Plant. So you guys tell me what you think in the comment section. Do you think David Benavidez really has a shot at defeating Canelo Alvarez? Or do you think David Benavidez is too green still? Let me know in the comment section, guys. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.